you doing? Come down from Bristol today. It's nice to see everyone. I was expecting a kind of audience of about 10 people. This is really scary. I work as an artist. I've been doing it for a while. I do some big things and small things. I realized a long time ago, friends of mine don't really see the artwork I make because it goes in, festivals in different cities. So I started making little things. This is a meteorite catcher for a friend of mine who plays the lottery, and I found out that you're more likely to be hit on the head by a meteorite than you are to win the national lottery. So I made that for them when they, when they lose on a Wednesday, they can hold that out the window and have another chance of winning something. Meteorite, this is a miracle toaster. Everybody needs a miracle toaster. To celebrate those objects around the world, I think there's a giant cornflake in America that people will travel 1,000 miles to go and, pay pilgrimage to these giant cornflake. I think, and they'd auction it for £1 million, So yeah, you can get a miracle on every piece of toast. I thought to put it in a B&B in Lords, for some pilgrims. Oh my God, it would be great. So big things, small things. This is the engagement ring I made for my girlfriend. And it's got my voice etched onto the outside of it. So you can play it back. 23-second long message, and it's my proposal. And you can play it back on this miniature record player. So she said, yeah, it's good. So I couldn't just go down Argos and buy a wedding ring after that, could I? That's the thing. So I had to make the wedding ring as well. And this one, it projects portraits of us and our kids. So you hold it up to a light, and the light passes through and projects portraits. So the way it's done, the way you do these things is you come up with the idea that all the projects are sort of ideas based, and then you build a team of kind of groovy people who've got skills to be able to make things. And I'm a bit of an engineer and a designer as well. Anyway, there's fun to be had. Okay, there's some glass virus sculptures. This is swine flu. I work with virologists and a team of glass blowers, and these are in museums. You can go to the Wellcome collection and see some in London. T4 bacteriophage, HIV, smallpox, roll up. So, there's obviously this sort of tension there, isn't there, between the beauty of these objects and the fact that this HIV sculpture is sort of killing millions of people around the world. And the artworks are sort of designed for people to contemplate, the global implications of these. But the artworks are about the size of a football, and they're 1 million times larger than the real thing, so they're scaled up. E. coli, some malaria. I also do big stuff. So this is a giant, this took me 3.5 years to make. It's a giant sort of singing sculpture. I've toured it around the country. It was an absolute nightmare of a project. So it sings in the wind. I'm installing it this weekend in Canary Wharf. It'll be there for a month if anyone wants to go and see it. It's there. It was at the Eden Project. It's all internally mirrored, so you can look through, and it pulls the landscape of light through it. And it's an Aeolian wind harp, so it's got strings attached, and they will sing. We should go and have a look at that. I went to Tunisia a long time ago and was woken up by minarets calling at 3 a.m. as I lay in my hotel room in the darkness. And you could just hear the heat and the dust of the air, absorbing the call to prayer, these minarets calling right around the city. It was very beautiful, and all these minarets calling right around. And it just lifted me into that space on the edge of sleep. When you're waking up in the morning, the radio wakes you up, and bits of the radio start getting incorporated into your dreams. And, I'm interested in that perceptual location, this space on the edge of sleep. And it gave me the idea to perhaps come up with my own artwork, to make art in the space on the edge of sleep. And I went back to Bristol and bumped into a hot air balloonist. And that's where the idea came from for the Sky Orchestra. So we strap speakers onto hot air balloons, and then we take off and fly over cities, playing sort of specially composed sleep music to affect people's dreams. So I've flown all around the world. We flew over London to celebrate a year to go for the Olympics. Right, so we tried to fly over Birmingham in 2007, and it was a complete nightmare. It was too windy. We all turned up. We were going to have live musicians in these balloons this time. The great thing about these balloons is you can pass music from one part of the sky to another, like whales calling. It's really fun. But we all turned up to fly. We couldn't do it. We had to pay all the musicians on music union rates, pay all the pilots. We'd blown sort of 15,000 quid, nothing to show for it. And we promised the city council that we'd reach 100,000 people with an artwork in 3 weeks. And I thought, oh, shit. And I had to come up with a new idea. So I had this idea to put pianos on the street for people to play, which we did. Close that. So you dump them on the street. And they're there for the public. Has anyone seen them in London? Hands up, who's seen them in London? There we go, that's good. So they've been in London for 3 years. We've got a special website where the public can upload all their films and photos and stories. They're there for you to play. This summer there's going to be 50 across London, as well as another 11 cities around the world. It's got completely out of hand. So here's some of the cities from last year, you know. We put 60 pianos across New York. The interesting thing is, in London, people sort of shyly film themselves playing, you know, and they upload thing. In New York, you have these people, and they dress like pop stars, and they look into the camera and they say, "My name," you know, and this is the song I've written, you know. And it's really funny. So 60 pianos. We had 100. Yeah, it just the powerful thing about this project is it's not about my idea. It's about everyone else's creativity. This is what happened in. You know, this is one of the films. We've got 2,000 films on the city site.
So 60 pianos appeared in the city. I didn't know how, but I knew they looked pretty. So I thought that I should write a little ditty about when New York became Piano City. When it comes to guitar, they say I'm the meanest. And on the drum kit, they say I'm the keenest. But even when the grass is its greenest, unfortunately, I'm nobody's pianist. So I thought a piano song without a piano is like A.C. Slater without Jesse Spano. But then it hit me, I was saved by the bell, that if I keep it simple, no one will be able to tell. So I wrote a little ditty, first without any keys, then I ate it.
So get rid of him. This is what happened in London. This was good.
Well, this gonna change on me. What is history? The 1 and 2 came crumbling down. We act as if they're still around. Can we move ahead? Forget about the images inside our head. Can we wake the day? Say mistake. Wake up from this dream. Show me what it means. 3 runs down at the bottom of the ninth. If I could pick 2 guys to have on my side. 4 runs down in the bottom of the ninth. I could pick 2 guys to have on my side. 5 runs down, 6 runs down, 7 runs down, 8 runs down, and 9 runs down, 10 runs down, and I don't know how we're gonna turn this game around.
So, the pianos are going to be in London again. There's going to be a map on this website, streetpianos.com, there for anyone to play. The amazing thing about the piano, you know, we put pianos in Sao Paulo. Piano over there costs like a year's wage for people. We put one in a train station. Came across a mother and a daughter in a train station, and the mother had worked as a cleaner for 4 years to be able to send her daughter to piano lessons on the other side of the city. Piano, it costs a year's wage, a rare instrument over there. And after 4 years of working as a cleaner, she'd never actually heard her daughter play the piano. So she's, for the first time, the daughter sat down in this train station and played the piano for her mum, who cried, And actually, usually the pianos are there for 3 weeks. But that piano in the train station is still there 4 years later. And the train station, they love it so much, they put pianos in all the other sort of stations right around Sao Paulo, which is wonderful. We put pianos in Sydney. We kept 2 journalists who met for the first time over a piano and writing about the project. And they fell in love, and they invited me to their wedding, which was great. But In Liverpool Street Station in London, you know, two strangers met, you know, see each other, gave each other piano lessons. They fell in love, and they didn't invite me to the wedding. They invited the piano, which is nice. So I think that's about me. But basically, anything is possible. And have a lovely evening. Thanks very much.